Well, hello, friends. It has officially been about 6 months since I put up a video. Um, I don't have excuses. I actually filmed videos on Thanksgiving. I was going to do showing what I was cooking and preparing all that, and then also clean with me, cleaning the house for Thanksgiving. I recorded them both. I, cut the videos down and everything and started the voiceovers, and I never got them posted. So those are gone. I'm not going to use those because they're from 6 months ago. But life has just been busy. I was taking a class last semester at a college nearby, and then, of course, we've got grandchildren and kids, and my daughter's had her volleyball tournaments for club volleyball the last few months, and just with work, I've got a big project I'm working on with work. So we've just been overwhelmed a bit. I have definitely felt overwhelmed in a good way. I think when we say like, oh, I'm, feeling stressed, the things you're stressed about aren't always bad. It's just there's so much in your life to do, and so many people to see, so many things to take care of, and a lot of them are blessings, but they just take up time and they take up energy and things like that. So sorry I haven't posted. I know I don't have a huge following, so not disappointing millions of fans or anything like a lot of big YouTubers would be, but there are a few people that have said to me, oh, you haven't made a video in a while. So people noticed in my personal life, and then also a couple messages have come through. So anyway, I appreciate those who notice and who miss when I don't post in a while. And so I do want to keep doing this. I just, when life gets busy, and this is a hobby for me, I have a full-time job, I have a family, I have a lot of other things. If something has to go, unfortunately, it does end up being things like this. So I do want to keep doing it. It wasn't because I was, stressed about it or anything, but just couldn't find the hours in the day. But we had a great Thanksgiving and Christmas, and first few months of the year, like I said, a lot of tournaments, a lot of weekends away, watching my daughter play volleyball. That's finished for the year. She's in soccer at school now. My other daughter is in a singing group, so there's things coming up here towards the end of school to go watch her in. So we'll continue to be busy. It's not that we're not busy now, but anyway. So yeah, you can see a little bit has changed. Anyone who's watched my videos, the end of this room, the far side where you can see the wood wall, that was an area that we kind of used as like a playroom sort of. That was like an odd carpeted section of this room. It was kind of strange. It was just a random spot with carpet in it. So it was always kind of weird. We didn't know what to do with it. Then we had this section of the room that was the dining space with my big 10 seat table. I don't know, 10 person table. So it's, dining room, and then we had it as sort of a playroom or game room type thing, but we ripped the carpet out. We have put up this wood, we're calling it shiplap, I don't know, shiplap wall. It's actually made of fence posts, so they're actually outdoor wood, so we're letting them dry for a few weeks before I stain them. And we are making that area into a pantry. So to the right of this, if you pass this fireplace to the right, there's a door that goes to the kitchen. So this isn't far from the kitchen. And actually, after we ripped the carpet up, I really didn't know what we were going to do with this space. It was clear there used to be a wall there, which is the reason why the flooring was different. And I was like, well, maybe we could just put a wall back up and use it for storage. And my daughter-in-law was over when we were talking about it, and she said, why don't you make it a pantry? And literally my jaw dropped, and I was so excited. I don't know how I didn't think of that, but it's perfect. So we've got the wall put up. Obviously there's a part at the top. You can see we've got I don't know if everyone calls it this, but my husband calls it ripping a board. So like taking the board and splitting it into two long ways. We've got to rip a few boards for the top of this room, and then on the inside of that wall is the same stuff. So I think there's a little section at the top we've got to finish there. But otherwise the wall is up. We were going to put a traditional door in, and then someone said, oh, what if you put a barn door? So I started looking, and I found this kit on the Lowe's website that was the door and the hardware all together, and it was only about $220. And the traditional door was going to be close to $180, the one that I was looking at. Of course, it included like the frame, so it was like the whole thing. So we actually made the opening for the traditional door, but we bought a door that would fit for this opening, and you just saw us put it together. So it comes in all these little panels, and you just put those to the long pieces. The 3 pieces connect to it, and then you slide in their tongue and groove. So really, you just saw it take some time, but me and my husband were able to easily. He's handy anyway. He built the wall. He and I helped. He, of course, he cut all the boards to put this wood wall up. So anyway, this took us an hour, more than an hour. I've cut it down. I've made, this is like 2.5 times the speed here. But yeah, not too bad. Here, what we're doing, he screwed these in with his drill, screwdriver or whatever, but his thing wasn't like you had to go kind of deep, and you couldn't get deep. So we're taking just a regular screwdriver and going as deep as we can. We kind of took turns because it was annoying doing it that way, but we got it done. So while he's doing the middle ones, there's these little pegs I'm putting in there to get this door put together. So like I said, we're making this a pantry, and we are going to put some shelves along one wall. We also want to get an extra refrigerator to put in the space, so that, because I don't buy a lot of like canned drinks or bottled drinks or things like that, because I just don't have room in my refrigerator in my kitchen for it. It just takes up so much space. So it'll be nice to have like an overflow. We can store things, just like the drinks and stuff. So yeah, we'll have a wall with shelves, and we're gonna build those. So I hopefully can make a video about that. And then we're gonna I just want to find a used refrigerator. I'm not worried. I don't want it to look, beat up and terrible, but I'm not worried about it being like super fancy or anything. So yeah, that's the plan. We've got to find the floor. I think I know what floor I'm putting down as well. So should be able to get the floor in the next few weeks as well. I think I would like to just do some sticky tile, since it is just a pantry. I don't feel like I need to spend a whole bunch of money on it. So I found some that I like on the Walmart website, and it's only going to cost about $80 to get that. I could change my mind. I keep kind of going back and forth on what I want, but anyway, some kind of sticky towel, a decent what's quality, you know, like I don't want the like super skinny thin ones. So it's decent quality, I believe, and we'll put that in there. You can look in there now and see. It's going to be hard to tell what it looks like, but it's basically linoleum from the 60s or 70s. When you get close to it, actually like looks like little sparkles in there. So yeah, super cute. It's like mint green and all that. So we had sort of hoped that when we pulled the carpet up, there actually would be wood floor down. We knew there was a reason there was carpet there, though. We just hoped, but no such luck. So now that we've got the door put together, these little pieces just make it look a little more like a barn door. So they just go across the front or both sides. So we're getting those put on. You just screw in a few holes. Again, all this came in the little kit. So nice that it all goes together. This kit that comes with hardware, I mean, $220. Really, I couldn't find anything comparable in price to that. You know, the next highest up were double that or more in price. So it was a really good deal. And I wish that I had looked at the camera, because it turns out you guys can't really see the top where we're gonna put the track. So I'm sorry, but you'll kind of see what we're doing, but you won't be able to see it real well. And in addition to building this door and hanging the rolling thing on this day, I also was able to get a few things organized. So I didn't video when I was organizing. I was decluttering some things out of my closet. I did not video that, but I did do a video, I think it was the next day, of me cleaning out from under my sink. It really needed it. So I'll have a video for decluttering and organizing under the sink. That'll probably be the next thing that I post. But since this day, I have also stained the door. So I got a black stain. I was kind of back and forth. So I was like, I know I don't want the wall and the door to be the same color. I want them to contrast. So I was like, maybe I'll paint one or the other. Like I'll paint the wall and stain the door, or paint the door and stain the wall. And my husband said, why don't you just stain them both? Because if you paint the door or the wall, you can't go back, right? If you stain it and then later decide you want to paint it, you could do that, but you can't take the paint back off. I guess you could, but it'd be not a fun process. So he was like, just get some very, very different stains. And that way too, you'll still see, you know, the pretty wood grain, especially in that door. So I took his advice, and I stained the door black. I've got a little video of that as well. So I've got a few things that I've started recording again so that I can share with you guys, and you know, get some videos back up. So like I said, sorry my camera was not quite where you could see what we're doing, but basically this kit came with 2 bars for the track, and you put them together in the middle. So we did that, and now what we're doing is marking where the holes are in the track. We here in a second are going to start putting it up, and then realized it's not going to be enough for them just to be in the wood here, like the slats of wood, that they needed to be in the studs, which of course if you were doing drywall you would know you've got to, but we had wood walls, so we thought maybe it didn't matter. But then we realized the holes are exactly far apart to get you to a stud, so they did that on purpose. And the thing about the instructions was there were no words on there. It just showed some pictures and nothing really referenced the studs in your wall. So I guess they're just, assuming which I guess we should. But anyway, we put it up and it was floppy, and we were like, yeah, that's not gonna work. And it was just, we weren't quite sure how it had to be lined up for it to be in the right spot for the door to work correctly. So yeah, we figured it out, and we moved it a little bit, got it in the studs, and then it was perfect. And another thing we've done, well, we didn't do, but that we had done at our house recently was our HVAC replaced. If you watched any videos from last summer, you would have seen that I had to put a window unit in our kitchen, and then also, I don't know if everyone saw this or not, but we have one in what is a multi-purpose room, my office / my husband's man cave / our closet. So we had one basically on each end of the house to help the system keep up. So it was still running. It would still get cool. It was just not keeping up at all. So it'd be 80 something degrees in the house in the middle of the day, and it was just kind of rough. So we knew we were going to have to replace it. We were making plans to do that. We saved up some money, but then it was more than we even saved up. So anyway, that's how life goes. But we did get it done, so that's done. And my husband and I were talking the other day. We see the benefit in doing things for your home. It's, yes, you don't want to spend the money all the time, but typically you're going to get back what you put in to your home. So you're building that, I guess it's equity. So as we do things that we think are good for our house and make it more useful, like this area was just kind of a nothing spot, and now we're making it a useful area. We will get that back if we ever decide to sell down the line. But some things that we want to do once we get this finished, we have a bathroom in the basement that's just tiny. I mean, it is cannot be decode. If you sit on the toilet, your knees will hit the wall. Like it's very, very small. There's a shower in it, there's a small sink, and there's a toilet. So it's big enough to have all that, but the wall, really the biggest issue is the wall just needs to be moved out. And so we've been talking about that for a while. So we want to do some work on that bathroom eventually. We want to put a fence up. We've got fencing on the back side of our yard and on one side, and then we need it on the other two sides so our dogs can go out without having to be on runners. So right now we just have runners out there, and we'll put them out just for a little bit and then bring them back in. They let us know when they're ready. They just start barking. So we just leave them out for a few minutes at a time. But on nice days, sometimes they will stay out there for a while, especially our dog Penny. But I think they would enjoy being out there, if they weren't hooked to that. So we want to do that. Let me think. I know there's other things on the list that we would like to do. My husband's made like a workshop kind of down in the basement, and he's been making some stuff, woodworking. So we want to build him like some built-in tables for down there that fit the space better. so that he has like a real, and like maybe put some pegboard up to hang his tools and just get it organized in the way he wants it. It's a good use of that space. So in that area, really, the dogs are down there because they won't behave enough to come upstairs. So the dogs are down there, but they have this huge room where, really they just go sit in their crates on their beds when they want to sit down. So they're not using that space, so it's a good use of that space. So we're just trying to do things that we think are beneficial to make it a better home for us. We love this home. Well, I won't speak for my husband. I love this home. I think it's awesome and well built, and it's old, so there's things that need to be updated, but that's fine. It's fun to put our own spin on it. We redid the kitchen a bit. I think it's been a couple years now, so we redid the kitchen a bit, and I love how that turned out. I'm not into like totally changing the way something looks and feels. Like the kitchen still has the same cabinets. I just I put some like molding around the doors to make them look more like a shaker cabinet. So we did like strips of wood around the doors, and then I repainted them because the paint just was looking kind of yellowed. So we did that, and took down what used to be like, it was a really old oven and stovetop and everything. Took that down to open it up more to the living room, and then we put in our island that you would have seen if you've ever watched me clean my kitchen or cook in my kitchen. And we put down new floor. So we didn't rip everything out. We took what was there, removed the things we didn't like, added things that we did want. We still plan to replace our countertops, but it's not a priority right now. They're not in bad condition, so there's plenty of other things that are need to be done that are actually not in great condition. So we knew after the HVAC, we also want to replace our roof soon. We just have regular shingles, and we knew when we moved in, it would be just a few years before we needed to do that. So we're kind of preparing ourselves to start saving for that. We want to do a metal roof. They are pretty much lifetime. I don't know if it's a lifetime warranty, but they can last a lifetime. So we prefer that to having to replace the shingles every few years. I think we'll do black on the roof. Our house is brick on the outside. And I've talked over and over about painting our house, and then I talked myself out of it, because once you paint it, my husband makes this point every time, once you paint it, you have to keep painting it forever. So I'm thinking, no, we won't paint it, but I'd like to replace our shutters with some shutters I like better. So that would be something not urgent, not a big deal, but just to make the front of our house feel a little more like what we want it to. So brick is going to be timeless, and it's going to last. Painted brick might go out of style, so I think I've come to terms with we're not going to paint our house, and that's fine. We'll do other things to improve the outside of how it looks. So here's me and Justin just trying to make sure we did everything right, and that and get this door hung up. So there was these weird things you put on the top. I don't really understand the purpose of them, so I was just kind of like, I don't know what we're doing here. Why are we doing this? But we got it put up, and it rolls nicely. We must have been pretty level, because it doesn't roll on its own. It sits wherever you stop it. So yeah, I like how it turned out. Again, I'm not going to show you here, but I did stain it black. And then I plan to do stain on the wall very, very light, I tested a stain on a portion of it, and it's too dark, and I don't like it. So I'm going to try to sand it off and go to the store and find, like, really literally the lightest stain that they have. So that's what we got done on this day. And we did, I don't think I filmed it, but there's like a little part that goes on the floor to keep the door on the track. So we did, I had to turn off the video and take my daughter somewhere she needed to go. So I cut it off, and I don't think I turned it back on for that part. But it's just a little piece that there's like a groove on the bottom of the door, and it keeps it in place so it doesn't flop around while you're moving it. So yeah, this, while it took us a little while, wasn't bad, and I would do it again. Probably do it a lot faster the next time because you get good at it, but then you probably don't need to do it again the next time. So, you learn, and then that's the only time you ever actually have to do it. But that's okay. But yeah, I will try to keep taking videos of the progress on this area. We're just going slow, doing a few things, something every few weeks, just to pay for it over time. We didn't save up money to work on this, so it's just something we're working on as we can. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.